What's going on? In this video, I'm going to be drawing some more dynamic poses, and some of these poses are going to be foreshortened. So these poses aren't going to have any reference pictures on the side because the first two came from my head, and the last one was from a reference, but I kind of tweaked it a little bit. But in these poses, I'm going to show how I use shapes to kind of create your own poses from your head. So from this one, this was kind of like a pose where you're kind of like, I guess, like in a flight position. So I started out with the circle for the head and then also the circle for the body. And then what I did was I kind of had a picture in my mind where I was going to go with it. So I drew this circle for the head first and then the body. And that way I can kind of work my way to figuring out how to do the pose, afterward. That way I had like to get kind of like a bend into it. So I put a waist in there. And because all this was already together, like the head, the torso, and the waist, it was easy for me to figure out and picture how to place the arm and the legs, which was kind of easy to do because you're kind of just now you're just kind of just figuring it out. So I took and I made the circle for the shoulders, circle for the arm, and overlapping it with the curves, and also making the forearm. And since the hand is kind of coming at you, or because of the perspective and the foreshortening, I just made it bigger as it's coming out towards you. So I'm adding in the cylinder for the neck. Also the head for the angle. During this phase, I was figuring out whether or not I was going to use either the box for the head or just a circle. But I kind of just did it almost together, like fused. So I had like the box and the head kind of at the same time. Well, it was a circle, but I pictured it as a box. So I'm adding in the chest area. Kind of detailing it some more. That way I can, if I decide to detail it and create like an actual person from this image, I kind of can know where to place things. The finger. And so the finger is kind of foreshortened in the more foreshortened way, or kind of, I guess kind of like the more the camera turns on your finger, the less you see of it, and it's kind of like how I have the thumb there. And the fingers. And this phase is usually easy to draw what you need to do, because in this part, when you're drawing this that way, you can kind of easily do what you want to do and erase it at some point when you want to fill it in and create your own character. So adding in more fingers. Trying to get them all in there, the creases. Sometimes I'll spend too much time on the basic phase before I even get to the actual details. Working more of the hand. Now I'm getting the hand on the other side, because there's one arm I have on the other side and also legs on the bottom. So for the arms, since the arms are going back, and since the angle of it, the arm will be smaller on the other side. So use the same method. Cylinders, circles for the shoulders. And also circles for the elbows. Getting the hand in, the fingers. And doing foreshortened poses, it gets pretty tricky. And you can draw there's a lot of different pictures you can find on Pinterest of different fisheye lens camera angles and forced perspective pictures and drawings that you can practice with to figure out, different shapes. And I like to use those as kind of a guide to figure out where to position things when they're in like a weird forced perspective type of way. And sometimes forced perspective will look kind of weird depending on what you're drawing and the angle that it's in. So I'm getting in the foot, and the other leg. Either be flying or jumping off of something. Another foot. I'm darkening some of the shadows, and this is where I'm fixing some of the stuff with my rubber eraser. And because of the paper that I'm using, I like to use the smooth paper because there's different variations of paper you can get. I like the smooth one because it makes it easier to erase. Like it's kind of like a smooth Bristol board, the smaller version. Now for this one, this was more of a ballet type of pose, but from kind of like a top angle. Because I mean, you can draw ballet poses from the sides. I mean, that's the easy way to do it. I like to challenge myself to draw them in weird angles. In a way, it's kind of like an easier way to learn poses faster for me to draw them from the hardest angles as possible. So this, I did it the same way, the head and then the torso. And after I make those two, I can work my way from there. And just, it's like an easier way of figuring out poses because you're drawing the head and then the torso. And then as you're drawing those two, you can figure out where everything's going to go after that. Like I can literally place a box for the hand somewhere else and then just connect everything to that, from that to the chest, and you can kind of get your poses from there. Like training your mind to create your own poses rather than always having to look at reference. But it is good to look at reference because you need a reference to tell you how exactly the pose needs to look. You can't just, because I mean nothing come out straight out your head unless you see it first. And the more you see and the more you draw from reference, the more you gain the knowledge of the body movements and which way your poses can go. So right now I'm adding in the box for the hand. So I knew exactly what size I wanted it since it was going to be a little foreshortened. Adding in the thumb. Working my way with the fingers. Make sure I get all those little creases. Not focus too much on detailing them, only because at some point, if I decide to erase it and create something with it, I can do that. The next finger. A lot of times I can either start from the palm and work my way outwards with a finger, or sometimes I like to draw the tip and then work my way down from the tip, depending on the positioning of the finger and and how the finger is bent. And that was kind of like a learning process that had me learn fingers faster, was drawing the tip first and then work my way down to the palm, depending on how the bend of the finger is. The other finger, the last one is kind of hidden in the back, the pinky finger. Adding in some slight little creases for the palm. Now after the hand is done, now you see how I work my way into the chest area, or the torso. Circles for the shoulders. You get the arm, forearm. Adding the shoulder in to the other side. I'm darkening some of the lines so I can keep my mind at ease for trying to figure out where all those lines are going. I'm working in the other arm. Since it's a little bit in the back, make it smaller. Not too small, but small enough where it's not coming at you. Adding the thumb. And little creases in there. And I'll work with gesture drawings also to do fast poses. But to me, I think the easiest or the best way that I learned was through learning shapes and figuring out different shapes of the body. But there's always different methods for every artist to learn. Darkening some lines. I'm adding in the other foot on the bottom. Like a little like on the toes. Just darkening some of the lines up. Refining it a bit. At this point now, I'm just erasing some of the extra lines. That way it's not showing too much overlap where it shouldn't be. Darken everything up. Now for this one, I chose to do a basic running pose. Not too heavy and foreshortening, but just a little bit. And seems before I start with the head, have all the lines, center line, to break it apart, and the torso. The little, kind of like a little oval shape. But since he's running, the angle of the line I altered a bit. That's why I have the line kind of lean to the side, and I have the neck area at an angle. so that my eyes can see where it's going, and not trick my mind to not draw it straight when it's supposed to be at an angle turning since he's running. So the arms was pretty simple to do, just the basic circle for the shoulder, cylinder for the arms, circles for the elbows, the hand in, going to the fist. And the other arms, since it's further back, have it smaller. A little circle for where the other hand is, just to throw it in there fast. At the waist, the little kind of got a little half circle, and then the cylinder for the leg. The cylinder is overlapping above the waist, just since the leg is coming towards you. So I have that in the front. And the leg in the back, you see that I have it behind this circle to indicate, to show that the leg is going behind. That way, if I'm drawing it and I'm putting pants on the figure, I can see where the curves are to know how the wrinkles go and things like that. There I am adding the circles for knuckles like I usually do, and dropping in the fingers to make the fists. Darkening it up. And now just finishing off that hand on the other side. So at this point now, this is all done. Just darkening it up. That's it for this video. Want to see more like this? Hit the like button, subscribe. Take care.